Welcome to the Parenting Powerhouse podcast. I'm here to empower mothers at various stages of their journey in raising a neurodivergent child to help them become the best version of themselves. Listen to receive insight, strength, and to discover your authentic self. My name is Tara Travell, and I am a mom, a nana, and educator with over 20 years of experience helping families find peace while living with ADHD, Asperger's, and high-functioning autism. I will share my personal experiences as well as my professional experiences to be your guide and compass to help you point in the right direction. So I'm going to go way back and talk about when my daughter, who's now 30, was 3 years old. And I'll never forget walking her through a doctor's office. And she turned to this woman who was sitting on the couch reading a magazine and said, "Mom, her nose is so big." Oh my gosh. My stomach just completely dropped. I was so embarrassed. And you know what? Looking back at it now, I was so embarrassed for who? Myself, right? Not for her. I mean, she was 3 years old. She didn't know. This was just her observing that she had a thought and then she expressed it out loud. We don't do that, but maybe I thought that she should, or I was just so embarrassed because maybe the person on the couch with the big nose was going to think less of me or poorly of me as a mom. So why did it embarrass me so much? And you know, thinking about it, it really shouldn't have, because she was 3 years old. She was just expressing what she was observing and what she thought, didn't know any differently. But this would have been a perfect time for me to just take it and use it as a teachable moment. And the more I think about it, this was one of those early times of being a mom, which is so hard anyway. I mean, my gosh, things are coming up every single day. They're new experiences. I don't know what the heck I'm doing half the time. It's getting harder and harder, actually, as she's getting older, not easier. And what I was really doing was comparing her behavior to what is appropriate or expected behavior for anybody older than her, right? Somebody like me at my age. That wasn't appropriate behavior. So how often did I really do this? And as I look back, oh my gosh, this could have happened all the time. And I, of course, don't remember every single experience that I had with my daughter that made me feel embarrassed. But I could probably go back and think about a lot of times. So as her behaviors became more and more noticeable, I began to cover them up and I started to make excuses. I would always say, "Oh, it's because of her shyness," or "She's just really tired today, really hungry," or "She had a really rough morning." It was always excuses, and I was always trying to normalize the behaviors and to make the interactions in public more comfortable, I guess, for me. And now looking back, it was really to make me feel more comfortable, to make me feel like maybe a better mom. Is that all right to say? Is that okay to feel that way? Well, yeah, of course. But as I overanalyze and really think about this, where does comparing really get us? And why do we compare? Really, where does it get us? I am the only me, just like you are the only you. So how can we really, realistically, compare ourselves to anybody else? It really just doesn't make sense if we sit here and think about it, right? But in the moment, we feel it. And why? because people are constantly telling us how to parent, reminding us that things aren't what other people would call normal or expected or appropriate. So we're constantly comparing ourselves, our situation, our family, our kids to maybe other kids. And think about it. Where is that getting us? I think it's causing more pain, and it's taking us away from what we really need to be concentrating on and what could really help us and help our kids. So what I really started thinking about was, okay, if this behavior is not harmful, then let her be her. Just let her do her, because in the moment it's not going to change, but it's going to be a great teachable moment if I try to understand her. Where is she coming from? Thinking about, okay, this is an experience she's having maybe for the first time. This could be a confusing experience for her. It could be something that just started building up. Maybe she is tired or hungry and, everything else is a little harder for her right now. So trying to meet her really from where she is rather than compare to somebody else, which, like I said again, it just doesn't make sense. She is the only her in the world. I am the only me. And me being her person, she's going to probably trust me more than anybody else. So this is a great time to use these moments as teachable moments and try to figure out where she's coming from, how she's feeling, what's going on in the moment, and maybe the whys of what's going on. Try to see her on her level and through her eyes. And this is one thing that I think happens so readily and so easily. We become parents and it is so hard, and we're learning every single day. And we just feel like there's so much on us, especially us moms. So, what is that saying? When the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? Well, I was thinking the other day about that saying, and these things just kind of pop up when things are happening in life. And the saying that came into my mind was, when the parenting gets tough, the tough get momming. And I don't know, it just popped into my head. Does that make much sense? I don't even know if that's a word, momming. But that's what we're doing. We're momming, and we have to remember that. And I think that's really important. We'll come back to that at another time because I think that would be a pretty good discussion. What is momming? So, beyond that, this is where we can take these teachable moments and teaching and the connection can really start happening. Our neurodiverse kids just need to learn the whys of behavior. So why something's happening, why they're feeling a certain way, try to get them to figure it out. We shouldn't be giving them those answers. We should be directing them. Just as I'm going to be your compass to point you in a direction. It's up to you to take that direction and to understand it, just like our kids. So an example I like to use with the whys. Okay, a simple social skill that we teach our kids, to say thank you, right? So why do we teach thank you? It's really out of appreciation, right? Okay, how about in the classroom when the teacher is giving out a homework assignment or a test? And as she's passing out the papers, the kids who take the paper say thank you. Why? Our neurodiverse kids may not say thank you because they don't really know the why behind it. They don't appreciate that test, right? They don't appreciate the homework. But that's not the act we're saying thankful for. We're thanking the teacher for handing it to us nicely. That's what we're really thanking her for. But see, they don't understand that why, so they may not say thank you. And to others, that may look like a poor social skill. So, just a quick example. There are lots more examples if you can think of them and think about the why, and that gap in the learning is usually that why. Now, in a perfect world, we would have the time and mental capacity, right, to get our kids through each of these experiences that cause them confusion, or to help explain that why of social skills. But who really has this? Daily? Every other day? Maybe every few days? Because we are so stressed and we have so much going on that it's so difficult to do this every single time. So, I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who has this kind of patience and who can do this for every single teachable moment, except for maybe Mary Poppins. And you know what? Mary Poppins, those weren't her kids, right? She was the nanny, so maybe she had more patience because they weren't her kids. So I think it's really difficult when it's our kid. They don't necessarily want to listen to us. But why? Because they're confused. They're missing something. They're building these strategies over time to just kind of put their back up. And it's nothing personal. It's not against you. It's not against me. It's just what naturally happens. So we realize we get stressed, overwhelmed, and frustrated, right? And sometimes we want to just give up or run away. Do you ever get that feeling? You just want to give up, run away, go hide for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? Our feelings are real and we can't ignore them. But how can we prevent these feelings? And this is what I really, really want to talk about, is preventative measures, because our feelings really are real. We can't ignore them. So this is an area that definitely we'll need to talk about, and will definitely be an ongoing topic here at the Parenting Powerhouse, of course. But tonight, I just want to kind of bring up a little something that I did over the weekend. And I went to this festival, this fall festival over the weekend, and I bought this handmade bracelet for myself. And then I saw one and I bought it for my friend. So what did this do for me? Well, the fact that I could buy it, I felt like buying it, it made me feel really good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually a really good thing. Doesn't mean we have to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to make ourselves feel good. But one little thing is not selfish. If you think about it, it's actually a really good thing, because if we feel good, even if it's for a few seconds or a few minutes, that's going to lift up our emotion and our state of mind. Even if it's for a short period of time, it still lifts it up. We level up from where we were maybe 10 minutes ago. And then everybody around us benefits from that, even if it's for a short time. It's something, anything, right? So I want to concentrate on that a little bit, because I did use that word selfish. And I think as moms, we sometimes feel like if we do things for ourselves, we take time away from our family or our kids, that it's selfish behavior. And actually, selfish is good, because if we're not being selfish, then we're not taking care of ourselves. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, then we have less for others. So I want you to look at it like that. It's okay. Selfish is a good word, a positive word, because that means we are concentrating on ourselves. So what happens when we feel good? Well, everyone around us benefits. When we have maybe more energy, we feel more positive. So we look at everything differently, don't we? When we feel good, we see and perceive things more positively. And positivity means what? More joy. So what is joy? To me, joy is being fun, having fun, being silly. And here is something to affirm every day. Life is joy. Life is fun. Life is silly. And just remember that and try to make things silly and fun. And this is really, really hard to do. I'm not saying this is easy at all. This is really hard. And I'm going to tell you a little something that I thought of, a little analogy over the summer. So I was at the beach watching the waves. And as I was watching the waves, I thought, my gosh, they're so strong. The waves in the ocean are so strong, and they just keep coming and changing shape and changing direction. And you never know what's coming when. But when it comes, it's going to crash. Every single wave crashes. So I looked at the waves as if they were a problem, a challenge, any kind of situation with our kid. The wave comes in, and of course we know it's going to crash, right? And this could even be our own feelings and emotions. Well, no matter what, the wave is going to crash. Are we going to sit there and try to go up against it and let it crash on top of us? Because what happens? That sucks so much of our energy, because now we have to try to stand tall and we have to stand against the wave as it crashes down on us. But we have another option. That wave is going to crash down, right? How about we get into position, know that wave is coming no matter what, get into that wave and ride it in so it doesn't crash on us. We actually, if we're riding the wave, don't we pick up energy? So we pick up energy and we ride it in. And isn't it more fun to ride a wave? If we can look at our experiences that way, the best we can, the things that are tough, the things that make life difficult, if we try to ride the wave, it's going to happen anyway, make the best of it, try to make it silly or fun when possible, try to laugh about it, even if it isn't funny. Laughter, that positivity, will level you up so that you have more energy, you have more strength to deal with it. So I ask you, try it. Let's see what you can do with it. This takes practice. This isn't something you can do once, twice, maybe not even the 10th time, but you will get better and better at it every single time. Hey moms, you guys are great. You guys are strong. You are unique and you're one of one. Just remember that. I love you all, and I want to thank you so much for landing here at the Parenting Powerhouse podcast. Check in every week as I will have another short podcast, and we will be tackling anything and everything ADHD, Asperger's, and high-functioning autism. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.